All right, boys and girls. Once again, we are here with the NFL pregame party, and we're going to go over the results of championship weekend in college. Also, we got some juicy matchups when the big boys hit the field today. A big one for my wife's team, the Miami Dolphins. And we'll get into all of that here. Myself, Noc, and Small Time Republic right here on NFL Pregame Party. All right, boys and girls, good morning to you. It's good to see all of you. We got a big show today. We got championship weekend to go over. Das Wolfen's already here saying good morning, all. Yeah, I'm sure he's fired up to hear about his Chiefs matchup with the Bengals today. But we got to get into the scouting report first. And for that, I have two folks because it's such a big bunch of material. We got our regular Noc. How you doing, brother?
Oh, good. Lots of football yesterday.
Lots
Not
of football.
great
Yes.
games, but they were games. They exist.
Yes,
But,
they do. And of course, we got his backup quarterback, Small Time Republic. How you doing, brother?
Doing good.
All right. Well, yeah, not as intriguing as we thought it would be. The only one I saw, guys, because I'm busy on the weekends, was the end of the TCU game. And I got to say, I gained a whole new level of respect for that kid. What's his name? Max Dougal or something like that? Dugan. That's it. Dugan. Oh my God. That guy. He put it all on the line in that game. Wow.
Yeah, he did.
That was amazing. So let you get to it, man. Let me get your graphic up here and you can start talking about this.
Yeah, we'll start with Friday night with Utah over USC. The USC loses big time, 47.
Yes, there is justice in the world.
Effectively, it would be a huge shock if they somehow managed to get into the playoffs. I think they went down to what, a 1% chance.
It's zero.
But yeah, it's the defense all year. You said it. It's the defense. The defense. Not good.
It's what they get for hiring a mercenary.
And Caleb Williams, he was banged up. He had a really nice 55-yard run, and he got hurt on it. That's what people are thinking. He got hurt. Mm-hmm. I saw it. Yeah, he rest of the game he was limping, and it limited to their offense. There were certain things they couldn't do anymore. And it hurt them, and then they couldn't keep up with Utah. The defense.
Injuries hurt a couple of teams yesterday in those games. Huh?
So it was bad. I actually watched the end of the Buffalo Akron game. The only meeting this had was that Buffalo had a chance to get a bowl eligible.
Yep.
And they did. They won. The last team to clinch a bowl eligibility spot. That makes 80 out of 82. Now I've read conflicting reports, Matt. Did they cancel the other two games, or there was one that they canceled? I guess was new last year. I don't know if they're doing.
Yeah, I haven't heard. I know that if all the 6-6 teams become bowl eligible, if there are still any spots,
they go to the 5 and 7.
Yeah, and I think they look at graduation rate for the 5 and 7 teams.
Yeah, so I saw the names. I forget what they were. But I think Army's still trying to get away. I don't know if they did or not because they're usually scheduled for the Independence Bowl.
Yeah. For the last, I think it's the last 2 years, and the next 2 years, they're supposed to have an automatic spot if they're bowl eligible in the Independence Bowl. Yeah.
They don't play again until next week, but that's not even or I guess it doesn't count. Even if they win it, they still won't have enough wins against FBS. So I think they were going for a waiver. I don't know if that is going to happen or not. But,
okay.
No. And then we had a UTSA, San Antonio over North Texas. Pretty good game, but again, a blowout. Just kind of that was for the Conference USA Championship.
One thing I'll say about that USC Utah game, this is that coach who shall not be named's first season coaching at USC, and my understanding is that they don't have the depth that Utah has. So when you combine,
when you have somebody go down,
yep. Hey. So I'm talking about like 1 through 85. I don't think they have the depth that Utah has. So you look at that 23 points in the fourth quarter. That's where it starts to show. I mean, at the end of at one point it was 17-3.
Yep.
USC, and then Utah outscored them, I guess 44-7 the rest of the way.
I should have grabbed the highlight, but there was a play, especially when it was tied at 17-17, that really it pretty much encapsulated the USC.
We don't need to see highlights of USC.
Well, it was a good play for Utah.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I like seeing Lincoln get
I didn't bring it up,
yeah.
but I didn't pull it up. But it basically was 3rd and 19, tied to 17. Utah had the ball, 3rd and 19, and he did a pass over the middle, and the receiver caught it and broke like 3 tackles that ganged up on him and went for a touchdown. And I think that was probably the start. That was pretty much the start of Utah running away. And
Das Wolfen says defense wins championships.
Well, there was
That's
no
right,
defenses.
USC.
There was no defenses in this this week, at least not for some teams. But I think it was all the blowouts were 40 to 20 something kind of deal. But that's Fridays, and let's go into Saturdays. My Boise State Broncos didn't show out. They lose in the MAC West Championship game. They lose to Fresno. Fresno is a really good team. But they just outlasted them. Boise State just kept settling for field goals versus touchdowns.
Well, I know an offensive mind that would love to move back to Boise. That's all I'll say. He's available. He's on the market.
Who's that?
Brian Harsin.
Okay. Yep. I don't know, but I don't know college ball guys.
I wouldn't mind if Kellen Moore went back to Boise, but I think he's having too much fun in the NFL with the Cowboys.
Oh man, he's got the golden ticket. He's the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys. Yeah. They never fire that guy. I mean, good Lord. Takes an act of Congress to fire that guy.
This was just LSU. So
they lost the quarterback, and ouch,
man. Georgia, kind of dominated. There was a lot of mess ups by LSU. I don't think they played too badly, but just too many mess ups. And one of them was the very beginning of the game where LSU went right down the field, got into field goal range, and the field goal was blocked. And nobody knew what to do at that point, but everyone was just like, "Okay, we got the block, we're good." But then one of the players picked it up, and he wasn't sure at first, but he picked it up eventually and ran it back, and they got a touchdown because it was a live ball. And the funny thing with this one is, even the special teams coach wanted him to not get it, and then he's like, "Don't pick it up! Don't pick it up! Don't pick it up!"
What? Okay, go ahead.
go. So that even the coaches were like, "Don't pick it up, don't pick it." So
well,
that is for LSU.
My brother, he bleeds purple and gold, and when he told me that the quarterback went down, the first thing he texted me was, "Georgia may hang 50 on him." That was the first thing he texted me, and that was in the first quarter when that kid got hurt. And sure enough, there it is. They scored 50 points.
Yeah. And Joe, that included going for 2 late in the game when Georgia didn't have to.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't have.
Wow, that's wrong.
Yep.
Jeez.
But Kirby Smart's been known to do that.
Rub your nose in it. Oh man.
There was one time where they were playing Auburn, and they were up 17 in the I think fourth quarter, and faked a field goal against Auburn.
What?
Yep.
What a prick.
Yep.
Was he treat big leads like the preseason or something? Just try stuff out or something?
No, it was he does that. But LSU, I think, had like 500 yards passing, but it was all just, Georgia playing safe defense, basically.
Right. They were blowing them out, and they were just giving it up underneath and letting them do it, right?
I mean, it was just a bad luck game included for LSU, because there was one where it was an interception off a helmet. The wide receiver went down, and the ball bounced off his helmet, and one of the defenders tipped it up a little bit higher, and the guy behind him caught it. The other defender did. So it was just that kind of game for it. And then they take it back. I think they took that one back for a touchdown. I'm not sure.
What a shame.
So it was just that kind of game for LSU. Just everything bad luck. So Georgia clear number 1 going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Clear number 2, Michigan, Big Ten championship. Halftime, Purdue had them, on the 13-14. So they were in it.
They were close.
They were in it, but then
the depth chart starts to show in the second half.
In the second half, they couldn't stop them. They just could not. So it was unfortunate that their MVP hopeful or Heisman hopeful wasn't in this game. I don't know if he's out for the rest of the season. Matt, do you know? Crum? Is it Crum? Crum?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Running back, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they found another one in number 7 who just went off in this game. I forget his name, but so Michigan clear number 2 going into the playoffs. Either going to play TCU or Ohio is probably the best bet. And this is probably the game of the weekend right here. Big 12, Kansas State and TCU.
Yeah.
Really crazy game. Kansas State once again went up in this game. A little bit, and then TCU had to claw back. And I think it was all because of Max Duggan that they were able to come back.
Yeah.
Well, and there was some controversy there in overtime. There was a second down play where the Max Duggan's knee, his knee nor his elbow were down when the ball crossed the plane on a second down play.
Mm-hmm.
But his wrist forearm area may have been down. And I think the forearm may be equal to the elbow. I don't know. But either way, that essentially cost him the game.
And I'm still not convinced that in the third down play that the running back was down.
Yeah, I never got a good look at the third down play.
They never reviewed it. They did. There was a play that he had reached across the line. And it looked clear as day to me. I know they talk about angles or whatever with cameras, but looked like he at least because it almost looked like his hand was across the thing. Even at a bad angle, that ball tip at least went across the line. But they didn't even review it to see if his body was even down, because he could have been on top of.
But I think that muddies the waters enough to where it would be wrong to exclude TCU from the playoff.
Yeah, so I just think with what Max Duggan did himself, I think is enough to keep him in it. This was them trying in there. Just the level of commitment that he put everything on.
Yeah, he did, because dude, when they did score, it was him running it again, and he was so gassed when he was leaving the field. He was telling guys to get off of him because he wanted to breathe.
Yeah, I can show that one next. That's basically the next play here.
Okay. And my brother made the observation. He said
they went for 2 and they got that one. So that's
see.
It's just. Yeah,
my brother made the observation that a few plays before, he said he just overshadowed his teammates, because apparently there's a wide receiver that went after a deep ball and missed it and waved to get out of the game after one play, and he couldn't do it. He's the quarterback. He can't leave the game. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's amazing what he did in that game. Kudos to him.
I can't see TCU being out of the playoffs, but like Matt says, it's college committee loves teams like Notre Dame and Alabama, and if Notre Dame had only 2 losses, they'd probably be in the dang thing.
Das Wolfen is saying if it's like the NFL, the forum is down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then in that case, I would argue he was down.
But
either way, they came close enough to where they should get the benefit of the doubt with the
absolutely.
Even if you give them the 4 seed, even if you move them back a seed, then they deserve to be in there.
Well,
you shouldn't be punished.
It was a tight game.
You shouldn't be punished for playing in your conference championship game when other teams don't.
And it being as close as it was in overtime to actually lose.
Yeah, it'd be different if they got blown out by
I think that's
like
the main
LSU
thing.
did. That would be something different. Yep. You know what I mean?
Now, real quick, in a couple of years they'll be going to a 12-team playoff.
2024.
That was confirmed this week.
It was confirmed, yes. The Rose Bowl committee was the last holdouts over some money deals and stuff like that. Or they wanted a particular date. They wanted to keep their date of when they play. Mm-hmm. And the college committee was like, we're not going to promise you that. Shut up. But no, they finally came around. And so, it's starting. So not next season. But the season after, they will have the new 12 playoff.
12-team playoff.
Playoffs. So six best conference teams. So I guess the 6 conferences with the highest record, or the championship and all whatever, and then the 6 best records after them.
Well, now it won't be. Well, the top 4 conference champions will get the top 4 spots.
Right. So that way it's still going to be ranked. So the top 4 teams are going to get a bye week, and then the remaining 8 play against so number 5 will play number 12, kind of deal. And then the winners of those games will go on to play the teams that had the bye, the top 4 teams.
Okay.
And then of course all the bowl games will be, rotating.
Right.
I do like that they're rewarding conference champions by giving them a bye. That makes this weekend that just happened matter.
Means something.
Yeah.
The top 4 conference championships. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So I can't wait for that. Like I said, I think I came into college football at just the right time. That was one of the things that always bothered me about college football, is why I never got into it. Was because
it was all the AP.
It was just 2 teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was 2 teams at the end of the season. You have at that time it was still like 120 teams in the FBS, and you only had 2 teams that really mattered.
And we'll be getting not that we could trust them based on Madden lately, but we will get an EA Sports college football game returning.
It's a different team. It's a different development team. They're starting.
Okay, so they moved away from EA. Okay.
I mean, I think it's still EA, but it's not the same Madden team.
It's not It used to be called Triberian, but
so it's a different team that's going to be developed. Yeah, you're exactly. I can't wait for that. The last time there was an NCAA game was the year before. They changed to the 4-team playoff, and now the next time there's an NCAA, it'll be when they get
12 teams in it.
It'll be just before the 12 team, but the next
it'll sync up with that, yeah.
Because it's going to be coming out because it's next year. It's 20. The game comes out in 24.
I'm just glad they're going to make one, because I love making my alma mater, Bossier Parish Community College.
There are some
killer. I put them on a high school field, and I have them destroying teams like Alabama
If you're a Spider-Man fan, you could make Empire State University.
Right? With the spiders on the side of the helmets.
Make them, red and blue. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's see. What do we got? The ACC
ACC, yeah. Clemson and North Carolina. This was just a
It was just a
from what I understand, I didn't really watch much of this game because it was kind of a blowout, but they sat, after 2 series, I believe it is, they sat Ukulele. And put in the backup, the freshman.
North Carolina's a basketball school.
So they and I don't know if Ukulele is going to be in the transfer portal next year, but I think they're going to go with this freshman. He'll be a sophomore next year.
Anytime he's played this year, he's looked better than Ukulele. In fact, if it had played, against South Carolina the whole game, that might have been enough to get Clemson the 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
They would come because they'd be coming in 12-1.
So they're going to be interesting to watch next year with that new quarterback. See what happens. He'll be there for at least 2 years probably. So, but that was pretty much a blowout. Nothing interesting there. I did watch this game. This was fun to watch. Tulane and UCF for the AAC.
Tulane, the Green
Wave. Pulled it out.
What's up?
My goodness! And this was a very exciting game. This wasn't a blowout. UCF kept clawing back. But Tulane just kept Spears. They have a running back named Spear. He's compared to a Darren Sproles.
Oh my God! A little scat back that you can't catch, like trying to catch a chicken. God!
Yep, exactly. They even did they talked to him. They did like an interview where he was compared to him. He's like, the whole humble thing, and so I don't know if he's a senior or not, or if he's going to the draft or not, but some team's going to get him, and he's going to be a Darren Sproles in the NFL.
I'll never forget when he left San Diego.
What's that?
when he left San Diego, Sproles.
Oh yeah, they let him go.
When he left there and went to the Saints, they were interviewing Phillip Rivers, and what's the next year, and they were asking what's the biggest difference in the team this year, and he said, "Oh, we don't have Darren Sproles." That was the first thing out of his mouth. He's like, "I don't have that guy to rely on." So yeah, that a guy like that can help out. I mean, it's like having a Christian McCaffrey. It's having a guy that can change a game with one touch of the ball in space. I mean, it's ridiculous. What
and then
Tulane Sproles is like duct tape. You can do a lot with him. Yeah,
you can do a whole lot with him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Tulane just offense could not be stopped. So they pulled out the win. AAC. I think this is both their last games in the AAC. Is that right, Matt? I think one of them.
I know that Central Florida is going to the Big 12.
I think Tulane is as well. But I'm not.
I think Tulane remaining in the American. I'm looking.
I'll have to look that up because I've looked it up multiple times, but I just keep forgetting who's moving.
Yeah, there's so much movement coming up the next year or two.
Yeah, they're trying to build these super conferences and stuff.
This will be Tulane's first. It looks like Tulane is going to remain in the American, but this will be Tulane's first major bowl game. Coming up, whatever they end up going to since 1939.
I have predictions.
1939.
Yeah, wow. I'm thinking it looks like they might be playing USC.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll have to watch that game.
I'm going to confirm that when I watch the selection show. It starts in about a little more than a half hour, but yeah, I'm going to watch that whole thing and see who they play. But
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see a Louisiana team kick the shit out of Mr. Lincoln Riley. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, then, Tulane's coach, he's 62 years old, so he may be at that age where other schools maybe aren't going after him hard. So Tulane may be in a good position to have a good 5 or 6 year run here.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
He's not going to be going anywhere, right?
Because that's the trouble with schools like that. If they have a really good coach, they always end up leaving.
They all want to be like the SEC. Yeah. Well, there's several reasons why they're doing all this. A lot of it has to do with money. All you have to do is follow the money. But I'll be glad when all this movement's done. I know I'm an old curmudgeon and I like things the way they were when I was a kid, and it's just not going to be that way. That's cool. Let's get all this movement done and get it set already. All right. If Oklahoma's going to be in the SEC, getting the crap kicked out of them by friggin' Ole Miss every other year, that's fine. Just get them there and let's get it done. What the hell? I hate the fact they're leaving the Big 12. But anyway, I digress. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So next up would be the MAC championship. Toledo and Ohio. Ohio just didn't really show up for this one. Toledo's defense was really good. Just kept them down. Ohio notably did have their backup quarterback in. The one who played for most of the year got injured a month ago. So he was out for the season. He'll be back next year. But Toledo's defense really definitely carried this one for a MAC championship for Toledo. And then Troy just beat up Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt Championship. It was a pretty big slaughter.
Yeah.
So
I got some breaking news on Coastal Carolina.
Okay.
Their head coach Jamie Chadwell has now become the new head coach at Liberty as of this morning.
Okay.
Really?
All right. I knew they were looking. I didn't know if they could if they had picked anyone.
Isn't Dion changing teams too?
Yes, literally the minute after they won the SWAC championship.
Yeah, the Colorado Buffaloes.
Colorado was like, he's ours.
Mm-hmm.
He's
wow.
ours.
He told the team,
So I don't have it on this list because it wasn't really a FBS championship, but Jackson State did win their game. By a huge margin. It was even
undefeated.
Some like 7-4 team. I don't understand their format enough to know how that other team made it, but it wasn't even close. I don't know. That game stinks to high hell to me, but and I guess this one kind of popped up out of nowhere. New Mexico State. From what I read, they were trying to get bowl eligible, but they couldn't find. I guess one of their games got canceled. And they were trying to find an FBS team to play, but nobody wanted to play them. So they ended up, I think they got a waiver if they played this other, I don't even know what this team is.
Basketball school.
So I don't know if that gets New Mexico.
Now this isn't the makeup game you said was going to be played this weekend.
No, that was Buffalo. That was Buffalo and Akron.
Okay.
So this one just literally like popped up the other day. I have no idea, but I read about it, and I guess they were just trying to get another game in.
They called Valparaiso and said, "Do you play football?"
Yeah.
Do you play football?
Yeah.
Can your cheerleaders put on pads?
So yeah, I do got this clip right here. I think this was a high school game, and I just did it just because I just wanted to appreciate it for what it was.
Well, if it's in the stadium, it's probably a state championship game.
Yeah.
Down to about the 20. It's caught.
This was last.
What great thinking! Oh, what quick thinking!
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
So you got
That's
the cat with the
awesome.
lateral, and that was the last play. I saw that one this morning. I was like, I got to choke it. You always appreciate a good play like that.
Yes,
That was,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
If they're playing
lateral.
in an NFL stadium, it's usually I know the Louisiana State Championships are held in the Thunderdome in the Superdome. So
Right.
yeah, that's probably
it's
what
the
that
Thunderdome
was.
outside.
Yes,
of the stadium. Yes.
absolutely.
So I'm not going to show no, these are just predictions. These are not picks yet. Like I said, it's not until
Josh Wolfen says they fielded the lacrosse team.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, maybe the soccer team because they did get a field goal, so someone can get the ball at least. So these are just predictions right here. Because I only put them up because they both, whoever these guys are that did them, both kind of matched. So they seem to think these are not really set in stone, but
please understand these are predictions by the Communist News Network. ESPN. I apologize.
So take these with a grain of salt, but these are the only thing we have right now. And like I said, the selection committee is in a half hour, but we'll find out soon. But for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, we're looking at Georgia at Ohio State. I would make Ohio number 4. So that would be the first game, and then the second one is the Fiesta Bowl, which would be Michigan versus TCU, which would put TCU.
I think it's going to be Michigan and TCU.
So
I do. I think Georgia's going to get whoever they decide is in that last spot, and it could. Yeah. Don't be surprised if it's Alabama. Don't be surprised.
So I guess the biggest thing is kind of like, what is the top 5 going to be, or top, I guess 3 of 5, 3, 4, and 5. Alabama, Ohio, and TCU. I think TCU and Ohio got it. So we'll see with the selection committee, but that's that. So the only bowl games I want to show up that they showcased here is the New Year's Six. Those are probably the biggest bowl games outside of the playoffs. Course. Yeah. So for the Capital One Orange Bowl, they're both thinking that Clemson and Tennessee will be playing.
Well, you got orange versus orange in the Orange Bowl.
Nothing but orange. Overdose on my favorite color. Yes.
Yeah, I know they can't do it, but it'd be so funny if they did orange on orange.
It's like watching the Browns play the Bengals, man. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that's December 30th for that one. December 31st is All-State Sugar Bowl, and they're thinking Kansas State versus Alabama.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a good game. January 2nd, you got Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. USC versus Tulane is the prediction.
Go Green Wave.
So I think whoever won the AAC was going to be the one in this game. So that's, we'll see what happens. And then for the Rose Bowl game, Penn State versus Utah.
Really?
Yeah. So like I said, these are just predictions, but that's what we got. I'm not going to go over all the other bowl games though.
Unless you're a USC fan, the rest of America will be rooting for Tulane.
You're damn straight. Everyone will be rooting for. Yeah,
I'm definitely rooting for Tulane. This is really they have a special season going on here. So let's see if we can.
Yeah,
it is going to be curious to see how many. And this is the thing I'm still learning about college football is it's going to be interesting to see who actually plays in these games. With some of them being
the players, you mean? You're talking about the players, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see. Like, is Caleb Williams even going to play in this game?
The Dork Knight, my fellow wrestling fan. We've got a stream later on today. By the way, if you guys want to come watch us at 2. Let's see, it's 2 Pacific his time, which is 4:00 my time. I'm actually giving up my NFL afternoon game to hang out with the dork and talk wrestling, man. We're going to talk wrestling today.
Will that be on his channel, your channel, or?
It's actually Pop Culture Minefield.
Okay.
It's one that he and I both show up on. It's run by Gary from Pop Culture Minefield. And we're going to have fun with it, man. It should be a lot of fun. Yep.
That's one of those type conversations where it just never ends.
It doesn't end because, it's like talking comic books, man. You can do that all day long. Yep. A lot of opinions there. All right. So.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I have. All we're going to have next week is just Navy and Army.
Yeah, the Army-Navy games next week. Yeah, we're getting into the holiday season.
And the
we'll know more next week, guys, whenever Noc is going to pay big-time attention to the
I'm going to be watching. I'm going to have
NFL
Red Zone on
here.
one phone and the selection on the other. So
and
they're actually locally showing my Broncos game, so I might have to. Even though they're going against the Ravens, I might still have to watch it, but I probably won't keep it on for long.
I hate it for you, man. I hate it for Russ. I hate what's going on there. I really do. I don't know what that's all about, but they'll get to the bottom of it this year, and they'll have something fixed next year. So
next week we'll go over the selection. I won't, go too crazy on the bowl games, but we'll at least say who's playing in which one, and then what they decided to do with the top 5.
Yeah, for sure, man. So thoughts on the championship games? Most of them blowouts.
Yeah, pretty much blowout. The biggest game was definitely Kansas State and
TCU. And
TCU.
Wow.
And then Tulane winning. I really enjoyed that game.
Louisiana, what's up?
Yeah,
are the Raging Cajuns bowl eligible this year?
They are bowl eligible. Yeah, they're one of the top 80 of 82. So they
always pull for Tulane, Raging Cajuns, and LSU.
I can say confidently that they've clinched a bowl because not all there was 2 open slots. So I don't know what they're going to do with those slots, if they're going to do the 5 and 7 thing. But yeah. So
very cool, man. Very cool.
By the way, 6 right now is in.
Go ahead, Matt. What?
I was just going to say one interesting thing about the 5 and 7 teams where they pick like the top 2 that have the best graduation rate or whatever the academic criteria are.
Like
apparently Vanderbilt's not in the top 2 in terms of 5 and 7 teams in terms of the graduation rate, which I find interesting.
Wow. That's the Ivy League school of the SEC. What the hell's going on there, man? Wow.
It shows how they get their football players,
Right. Yeah. Das Wolfen says, I'm sitting at the Pop Culture Minefield Con booth at Geekmas and waiting for Keith to show up. He's on Keith time. Yeah. Keith time is a thing of its own. Yes. Keith is a Pop Culture Minefield. If you guys don't know about that channel, it's great. You should go follow it. Check them out. Gary is and Keith are the 2 guys, the 2-headed monster that run it. And it's a lot of fun. They do a morning coffee show every morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. You can see me on there a lot. Especially on Monday and Tuesdays on my days off, I'm on there with those guys.
And I believe they do a lot of cons or good amount.
Yeah, they do. They do. Gary's always going to those things. And Gary's a good comic book artist. He does several things. He's a vet like me. And we just hit it off right away. When I met him on one of That 70s Show's streams. And we've been hanging out ever since. He's a really great guy. And I'm definitely going to be tapping his mind on the comic book thing. And he did this. I'm a big Captain Kirk fan. He's my favorite Star Trek captain. And he did this great portrait of him, and I'm a portrait artist. And so you got to impress me with a portrait. And he did a great job on one he sells at cons. And I'm like, dude, I got to get one of those. But anyway, check them out, man. And like I said, we're going to be on their channel at 4:00 Central this afternoon. Talking wrestling, man. If you're into that, come watch it, man. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to do a report.
Wrestling. It's time for football.
All right, football, man. Hush up. I got a couple of Pop Culture Minefield fellas watching this. I got to help them out. Okay, so what we got today, let's see. Of course, we got week 13 in the NFL. There are some good matchups. Man, that one that's happening later today between the Niners and the Miami Dolphins, I'm going to be watching. I hope I get to see that, man.
Is Deebo Samuel, is he good to go?
I don't know. Check it out for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm busy producing a show and running graphics, bro. Let me see. We're gonna start with Thursday night's game between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. I saw something
I forgot that was a thing.
rather interesting this week. I saw a video of Mac Jones screaming on the sidelines, "Throw the fucking ball. The fucking running game sucks." You could read his lips. He was yelling at the top of his lungs. And I don't know who he was yelling at. It's, wow. You know, you don't usually see that on the sidelines of New England Patriot games. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, not unless it's a guy wearing number 12, you know.
Throwing up
yeah.
a pad somewhere.
So, yeah, this game, I mean, from what I saw, the score doesn't even indicate the closest of this game.
No, I think that
Buffalo dominated them.
Was in the last couple minutes. So
yeah, I mean, yeah.
But hey, New England's bowl eligible at least, so that's good.
Oh, dear Jesus.
The
only thing good about that game being a New England fan is they were wearing the coolest uniforms.
They were. I really thought those uniforms, the red.
Those are the coolest uniforms in NFL history. The privateer loves seeing the friggin' Colonial Soldier on the side of a helmet, dude. It's badass. All right, just is.
There was a rumor that,
poor New England. They're suffering from. This is what happens to dynasties when they start to die. They're just they're. It's hard to watch.
There was a rumor that Tom Brady is going to be going to New England next year, but I just don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening either, man. But I've seen that story, and I just don't see how that's going to be a thing. Why am I seeing a video on here? Yeah, it's going to get stupid on me now. Okay, sorry about that. So let's start with today's matchups. Hang on, who's saying what? Das Wolfen says, "Talk to Keith. He handles the orders for Gary." Okay, so we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Atlanta Falcons. I have to take Atlanta in this one. Neither one of these teams are world beaters. Looks like what's our man's name that's pulling the trigger for Pittsburgh? Pickett? Is that his name?
Yep, Kenny Pickett. Rookie.
He's got a lot to learn. And they didn't do him any favors by trading that wide receiver they had either. Atlanta's at home. This is a coin toss game. You know how I look at these things, guys.
I think, Atlanta got a big blow with Kyle Pitts is on IR now.
Yeah, he is.
So that was a huge blow.
It is.
So their offense is hanging by a thread with basically just Cordell Patterson. That's what they have.
Yeah. Who still is doing it, man? Was it last week he had a friggin' punt return?
Something like that.
I can't remember. He's got the most. I didn't think anybody'd ever get more than Dion, and he has. It's radical. The guy can do it at any moment in a football game, man.
He's a smart runner too.
Yeah, he is. He knows. He runs with great leverage. He knows where the hole is going to be created.
How funny is it that Deion Sanders has to go to college football and teach people not to high step?
That is some bullshit. What that is, man.
I just thought about that, and I was like, wow, he has to literally teach them not to do what I say, not as I do.
Do what I say, not as I do. That's it. Oh, my God. So where do you guys come down on this one? Is anybody taking Pittsburgh?
I really like Pittsburgh. I like their players, at least it's one of those.
I like the organization better, but
they
don't have it this year, man.
Yeah, they just don't have it this year. Najee Harris isn't like, I don't know what's going on.
That's the problem.
Like the run game.
Najee Harris is just not getting it done, man.
And I think that's really hurting. But I mean, it's one of those things where Kenny Pickett's his rookie year, man. Just let him play it out. Let him play it out.
Right.
He's going to learn so much.
You're hoping this is the game the light goes on? Is that what you're telling me?
No. I'm just saying this year's probably, a wash. But not for Kenny Pickett. This is Peyton Manning's first year. This is one of those things where you got to let the rookie do his thing and play for the rest of the year and get.
Oh, I got no problem with that. I just don't know if they're going to win on the road.
No, I don't think they're going to win this game. I think this is Falcons game. I think they're still a little bit better.
And he met the Steelers quarterback requirement of wearing gloves on both hands.
Yes, he did.
No, I just think this is just another one of games where just learn from it. As long as he learns from it, next year I think they'll be a lot better. But I think Pittsburgh's just going to have to take their hits this year.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But, they've also won some games that are, not bad.
This is another team that lost their longtime quarterback, and they're suffering from it. I mean, that's what happens when you lose.
It's a transition period for sure.
It's a rare thing to have a San Francisco where you transition from a Montana to a Young, or a Green Bay situation where they went from a Favre to a Rodgers. That is a rare thing. That not many organizations get that luxury, The only reason why the Dolphins were viable when Marino retired was because Jimmy Johnson had brought his guys in there, and they were good damn coaches, and they coached up the guys that filled in for him afterwards, made them a viable team. But I mean, it's just so rare when you lose a trigger man that's that good. It's hard to replace him, man. It really is. Okay, so the next one we got is, this is your team. We're hoping that the offense will get it together. He was so hyped at the beginning of the season, Matt.
I was
offensive coach.
I will never
tired
forget.
of defensive football and wanted to see an offensive coach, and he got the quarterback. And
I remember exactly where I was when I got the little notification popped up. I was at work, and I was talking to some of my coworkers, and it popped up. Bling! Denver trades for Russell Wilson, and I just had that shiver throughout my whole body. And it was like, oh my god!
Right.
And then this just
and we've seen
he's not going
happened.
anywhere either. That's the
no,
thing.
He's not.
As soon as we got him, we paid him, and then we're stuck with them, man.
It's like the Jimbo Fisher contract at A&M.
Yeah,
So it's just one of those things where
done deal.
We're gonna have to, they're gonna have to do something. And
if they're going, this is the deal. If you're gonna keep him, you're gonna have to build the offense around him, not make him fit what you're doing. Yeah,
I honestly would kind of wish that they would bring Gary Kubiak back. I think he would work well in a West Coast offense. Run the ball, and then rollouts.
Yeah,
and that's Gary Kubiak for sure. And I think he would do well. Andy Reid used to play that way as well. He doesn't anymore because he has Mahomes. But that's one of the reasons why I like that. And even Mike Shanahan, that was his bread and butter, was West Coast offense. I think that would work really well here. But Hatchett just isn't the one. He's just not a good coach. We need a more veteran coach than Hatchett for sure. Just he doesn't know what to do. Like, what does he even do anymore? I don't even know. He doesn't call the plays anymore. I mean, he does. I don't know what Hatchett even does with this team anymore. So
I think it's possible he could be one and done.
It could be 1 year and
I don't
out.
know if they're going to fire at this point. I don't know if they're going to fire him before the end of the year. But I just can't see, especially if they keep losing. I just don't see him making it out 1 year because
when you get
anything.
When you get a perennial MVP candidate in the offseason and pay him all that money, and you struggle to score 10 points a game, it falls on the coaches, man.
To have our lowest record ever. Like, that's how bad it is. Points scored ever.
Now, true, Russ needs to be playing better, but Russ is playing in a system he's not used to, and it's becoming obvious
right
he's
now.
a
It
system
should
quarterback.
be, and that usually is an excuse for the first start of the season. But by this point, you should have some familiarity with the offense. And either the wide receivers aren't doing it, or they need to run the ball more. I don't know what it is. Latavius Murray's not bad.
But Baltimore's going to do what they do, and I hate it for you, man. Your defense is good, but unless they turn it on the and here's the deal. Now, look, if they put him in the shotgun at the beginning of this game and just go 4 wide, they could light this team up because they have their weakness on defense, and it's been exploited all year, is those rookie corners they've got. So, if they could somehow produce something,
we just need to keep it close in the fourth quarter, and then just wait for the.
That's going to be hard to do, though. That's the thing.
It is, but if they can, then maybe we can get something something make Lamar do something wrong again. I don't know.
Das Wolfen says, I won't say anything
I
about the
appreciate it,
Broncos
buddy.
in respect of Noc.
I don't
He
believe in picking
appreciates it
somebody when they're down.
greatly, John.
trust
I got
me.
to tell you.
And
Yeah.
another thing is next week they actually downed status the Chiefs and Broncos game from Sunday night, mercifully. And
Yes.
now it's going to be Chargers and Dolphins on
Yes.
Sunday night. And
Yes,
I
it
saw
is.
that. I was like, thank God I don't have to
Thank
stay up
God
again.
the whole world isn't going to see what I'm going through.
I'm just so happy that I don't have to stay up until midnight.
Right, and stay
see my
up and
team
struggle
destroyed.
through it.
And
Yeah.
luckily, in
'Cause
that case, I don't think I had to worry about overtime. But I've had to sit through 2 of those. So
Yeah.
I'm just.
Oh, you should have heard him. Was that last? No, it wasn't last week. It was the week before.
It was the Raiders.
Oh my God. He goes, here we go. It's going to overtime again. They're
Yeah.
doing this just to lose. What the hell? I can't take this. He was losing his mind on the.
We've lost every overtime game this year,
It
and
really
2 of them
was.
haven't been at night, and that's just.
I hate it for you,
I gotta
Knock,
work- I gotta
but I
wake up
don't
in the
think your
morning
team's
and,
got a
like,
chance this week. Your defense is great. They don't
We
deserve
can
the
still go
offense
9
they're
and
getting.
8, but you know.
But
Yep,
but
Baltimore.
look,
Even I'm
Lamar's
going
going to do what he
Baltimore. This
does.
is the first time I'm not picking the Broncos this season.
Yeah.
And then watch them win. So hey, whatever. I'll
Who
take
you
it.
got in this one, Matt?
But I'm going to do Ravens.
Yeah,
Baltimore.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
And they're at home too. So.
Yeah, they are. Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears.
The battle of.
How is Mr. Rogers anyway? They pulled him from the game last week.
They're hurt. They're both hurt. Both quarterbacks are hurt, but they're both playing.
But they're both playing. Well, give me the Packers. I'll take the Packers.
I'll go Packers.
I'm going to take the road team.
I think.
Whereas I think that.
I remember. I think I picked the Bears. I'm going to pick the Bears.
You have been picking the Bears all season. You're in love with Justin
I am.
Fields.
I will admit that. Yes.
And you know what? Justin Fields, he runs like the guy from Philadelphia. He's great at that. But you know what? That guy needs to learn how to throw a football. So, until he learns how to do that, I'm picking the other team. Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where, I'm picking the Packers just because Rodgers knows how to play hurt.
Yeah.
Whereas and he owns the Bears.
Yeah.
And he owns the Bears. Yes, he does.
Yeah. Whereas Fields, his style of play is built around him needing to be healthy.
Yeah.
Whereas
no doubt.
Rodgers can compensate a little bit easier.
He's going to struggle. Yep. For sure. Okay. The next one we got here is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Man, this is a tough one.
At 4-7. What?
Well, guys, if there's going to be good matchups this week, we know there has to be some bad ones to offset that.
This one might surprisingly be good. It's one of those games where it's 2 iffy teams.
One thing's for sure. There's going to be no defense played in this game. That's for sure. It's going to be take the over in this one, boys and girls. Okay.
It could be a shootout, but the Lions have laid a goose egg this year too. So it's not written in stone.
It's true. You're right.
A lot of points. And Jacksonville coming off that win against the Ravens last week, which was a huge surprise.
Yeah, that was a huge surprise.
And then the Lions coming off their game, they're a little bit more rested because they played on Thursday, where they gave up Bills a run for their money. So
they did.
I picked the Jags for this one because I feel like they're coming off a little bit better, but I got nothing else after that.
Yeah, I'm going Detroit.
Yeah,
anytime you play in Detroit.
I don't know. I'm kind of going. I'm thinking Jax might be kind of I don't know if you can call this an upset, but I don't know. I think a lot of people are picking the Lions because of that offense, but I'm gonna go Jags. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, Matt. What were you saying about Detroit?
I said I'm going Detroit. I mean, they're playing at home. They're coming off of 10 days or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if all other things equal, I got to go Lions here.
Right. I'm taking the home team, and the main reason I'm not picking Jacksonville is that was an impressive win last week, but you got to put them together, and they haven't put them together yet.
And they got some guys banged up. Zay Jones, the receivers banged up. ETN, the running backs banged up. Yeah. So,
yep, Detroit all day long for me. Okay, let's see. We got the Browns. Now, is this the game where?
Yes.
It's week 13. Yeah. Deshaun Watson's going to start against the Texans. Can you imagine what this crowd is going to sound like in this game when he's on the field?
I don't feel good about this, but I actually had to pick up Deshaun Watson for fantasy football.
I did as well. Yeah. I didn't even hesitate.
Listen,
I mean, why not? Why not?
I
You
have
don't
Russell
know.
Wilson, and I need to bench Russell Wilson. So I have 5 quarterbacks on my roster on my fantasy team right now.
You might want to
because
reevaluate
I'm
your
just-
roster there, Noc.
Right.
Well, no. Here's the funny thing. I'm in first place. I've been winning in spite of my quarterbacks. Now, this is a 2-quarterback league, and I have Aaron Rodgers as my second one. But because of Nick Chubb, Cooper Kupp, who's now in IR, Devontae Adams, I got Pierce from the Texans, and Foreman from the Panthers. The rest of my team has been awesome. I've been winning in spite of my quarterbacks this season.
Somebody's been playing the waiver wire a lot.
I have right now my quarterbacks are Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Watson, Tyler Heineke, and I picked up Mike White from the Jets. Like, those are my options. Like, I needed to find somebody. Like, my quarterbacks are my worst spot.
So
I need something.
I did
the
want to mention
Jets
something
playing
about
this week. We're going to have to discuss the Jets here in a little bit. But getting back to this one, I would really be interested to watch the beginning of that game and hear that crowd when he comes out through the tunnel.
And you know what's weird?
They are going to give him some
Apparently,
shit. You know they are.
10 of his accusers are going to be in attendance.
Wow.
How weird is that? I don't know if that was something planned up by their lawyer.
You heard what happened on the preseason game.
Yeah. In the preseason game, he's
you sick fuck. They were chanting, you sick fuck. Yep. Unbelievable, man.
But, it's funny. I don't think that's necessarily Browns fans either, though.
No, it wasn't Browns fans. They were on the road. They were on the road like they're going to be today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And Houston's going to, of course, have even more animosity. Toward
now, with that said, I'm picking the Browns to win this game.
Yeah, I'm picking the Browns
because their defense is the better squad on the field.
And the run game.
Out of the 4 squads, offenses and defenses, their defense is the best squad on the field, and I think that'll carry them to a win today. No matter how the offense does with Watson, but yeah, man, wow, he's going to face some adversity today. Big time.
Well, as far as the chance, there's a mob mentality that people like to adapt where they like to just go after someone. Mm-hmm. So I think that's
of all places for him to have the first game back, though. Mm-hmm. Of all places,
yeah. Don't think for a minute that the NFL didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah.
This is the last of his punishment, right?
Yep.
Well. As far as making sure that this was the game he was going to be eligible to come back.
Right.
The schedule's made way last year, but I guarantee you that had a lot to do with the sentence he got, and when he was going to come back. But yeah, I'm taking Cleveland. Anybody want to take a flyer on Mills? Actually, didn't they bench Mills?
I think so, but I'm not
pretty sure they're starting their backup. I think
you were high on him, but I was.
I was, but apparently he's not doing well in year 2. Okay, here we go. The Jets.
Yes, yep.
Who is starting for the Jets today?
It's Mike White. It's White all the way right now.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
They showed several of the Jets players. I don't know if they're getting off a bus or something. I believe it was yesterday, and they all had on, well, not all, but a lot of them had on Mike White T-shirts.
You're getting me.
I'm serious.
Yeah, he's the one that's going to lead it. If they go to the playoffs, it's going to be Mike White that leads them.
So the team is behind.
So they have benched Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's done for the year as far as starting. I think. Yeah.
Unless and this isn't because of injury.
No.
This is because of his play.
Performance and attitude.
That is fantastic. I have to say, as much as I hate the Jets, I do like their coach. I struggle with this one because, much like Pittsburgh, I can't stand the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have respect for their organization. They're one of the best organizations in football. But my teams have been beaten by them too many damn times. I hate them, right? Yep. But I love their head coach. Tomlin is a great coach, man. That he really is. And I love this guy. I loved him when he was in San Francisco.
Robert Saleh.
Yeah, he's a really good coach. I hate that he's coaching the Jets, but I'm not shocked that he's doing this. I mean, when this guy comes off the bench and just lights it up, and from what I understand, from what was said in the week after the game, he just did what they asked him to do, and my God, look at the friggin' production.
Yep.
that makes you think Wilson was just doing his own damn thing and not paying attention. You know, it's what it looks like to me.
Lack of accountability too.
Yeah.
Well, also you look at Zach Wilson. He was successful at BYU, but a lot of what they ran there was just like dink and dunk type stuff.
Yeah.
And throwing, timing routes and that kind of thing. Whereas the NFL is it's different than college, different schemes.
So it sounds like he would be better in New England.
Okay, hang on. Before we get too much further, my man Doss Wolfen is talking. See, this is why I don't ever want you talking about friggin' fantasy football. He's got 3 comments in a row that's all fantasy football.
Hey, man, you're not accepting it. You're not accepting of it. That's
I've played it before. It takes away the enjoyment of the game for me. If you want to do a segment on this show about fantasy football, great. Do it. I won't be involved in it. I'll take a break or something.
My quarterback situation. That was all.
He says, I had Star Brady over Rodgers because of the way he has been playing, but I am still taking the Packers. He says, is Jacksonville's running back Etney healthy? Because if he is, they will be able to run all over him. And I have Mahomes, Kelsey, and Butker on my fantasy football team. I am tied for first place right now.
Mahomes and Kelsey. Oh, my goodness. Kelsey just can't be stopped.
No, he can't. He's a force of nature.
He could be the greatest ever tight end, Kelsey. It's you could argue that.
That's arguable. Yeah. But he is a force of nature, no doubt. He's something else. But in this game here, I'm taking the Jets on the road.
You know what? I'm doing the same thing. I'm going for the upset.
I'm going with big game Kirk.
Big game Kirk.
He's got,
it's not a big game. That's the thing. That's the thing that worries me about this pick is he'll hang 50 on the Jets with nobody watching.
Well, I think the Jets defense is really good.
Yeah,
and
they are.
I think if they can contain Jefferson,
this is my upset pick of the day.
If they can contain him,
the Jets rolling with White.
Get after Kirk, and they'll get this one.
Yep. ETN will be playing, but he was not 100% during the week.
Yeah,
Wolfen says I have to go with the Vikings.
But Brady's and Rodgers, that's rough because Brady and Rodgers have both been kind of iffy.
It's a rough year for those two. And this is the proof to me. This is what I tell people all the time. One of the reasons why I love football above all the other sports is, if you've got a Wayne Gretzky, you're going to win hockey games. If you've got a fantastic pitcher, you're going to win baseball games. If you've got a Michael Jordan, you're going to win basketball games. But this is the truest team sport. You can have a Tom Brady, you can have a Rodgers, but if you don't have the people around them doing what they're supposed to do, they're not going far. So it's the truest team sport to me. Lord Toth says, "Hi, everyone.
Hello.
What's up, buddy boys? Good to see you." He's always hanging out in the chats, and John's saying hi.
So I'm going with the upset though.
I am too. I'm going with the Jets. But small game Kirk, if he shows up, they're screwed.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's a tough one for sure.
It is a tough one to pick. Okay, let's see the next one.
Oh man,
here's another guy doing it from the bench.
This is
Taylor Heineke and the New York Jets. Or excuse me, the New York Giants.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, man. I'm taking the away team again in this one. I'm taking Washington.
Yeah, the Giants is always up. It's all on Barkley, but when Barkley can't do it, Jones cannot do it.
The other teams have figured it out, and they're loading the box, and they're stopping Saquon, and they're done when you do that.
But there's nothing like, gameplay-wise, there's nothing special about Heineke.
No.
But he's got the it.
He just keeps doing it.
He's got the it.
Yes, he does.
He's got the players.
Well, we've discussed it at length. He's this generation's Chad Pennington. He's a smart guy.
Yep. He's just someone that everyone wants to love. Mm-hmm. He's Mike White.
And Lord Toth apparently is banking on him pulling a Favre like he's known to do occasionally. He'll fling it somewhere where he's not supposed to and give it to the Giants. That must be what he's banking on.
Yeah. He does throw some iffy throws for sure.
Das Wolfen says, I am taking the Redskins. See, he won't even call them the friggin' Commandos, like I do. He's calling them the Redskins.
They'll always be the Redskins to me.
Yes, they're always the Redskins to me too.
So,
They can
Yeah,
wear
I'm
whatever they
going
want.
Redskins
Call
just
them
because the
whatever they
Giants have been really slipping lately.
Yeah.
And
but it is a trap game for the Redskins or the Commanders. See, now you guys got me saying it, but
yeah.
Because Tyler, like I said, there's nothing special about what Heineke's doing.
No.
About and speaking to his actual gameplay, but they just keep finding a way to win. So it's just I don't know. Can they get? And it's funny because they play them now, and then they play them in 2 weeks because Washington goes on its bye week,
Right?
And then they play the Giants again.
Yeah, they've got that rare twice in 3 weeks.
And then the Giants play the Ravens next week. So this next 3 weeks for the Giants is massive.
Going to be rough. Going to be rough. They really need this one badly.
Yeah. They really, so how much?
If the playoffs were to start today, the entire NFC East would be in the playoff.
They would, yeah. So it's
all of them.
Yeah. So that's
Washington would be the 7th seed.
This is what we were thinking what the AFC West was going to be, and it turns out it's the NFC East.
And it's
so
the NFC.
Yeah.
This division has been the NFC least for I can't remember how long, and now all of a sudden they're world beaters. All of them are. Wow, it's amazing. So I've got the Commandos.
Same.
Matt, you got Commandos
Washington.
as well?
Yep.
Okay. Next up.
Oh my goodness, the game's great.
God, this is going to be a good game, man.
It is.
I love the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. It's just I know his quarterback's going to fuck it up for him eventually, like he always does. It's just.
And how about AJ Brown coming back home? Well, actually, he's at home, but they're facing his old team. So I wonder if he's going to go off. And it just, but I'm, what I'm going to do though? I am still going to go, Lord Thought can say easy, but I'm actually going for the upset on this one. I'm going Tennessee. Tennessee tends to win slippery games like this, and Philly hasn't been as impressive these last couple weeks as normal.
This is going to be a fun
I think this is a trap game. I think this is another trap game.
I don't know about the trap game thing. I would say this: if you look at Washington's defense, who they've struggled against, it's good running teams.
Mm-hmm.
If you run on the Philadelphia Eagles, you're going to make some hay. And a lot of teams throw against them and pay the price. But they're built to stop a passing game. They're not built to stop a tough running football team like this. So
run the damn ball.
Run the fucking ball 50 times in this game. You'll have a good chance to win it. Keep him off the field.
Yeah.
I mean, let's think about the one loss they have. Who beat them? The Washington Commandos did. And how did they do it? They ran the ball 52 times and kept them off the field. And it frustrated Hurts, and he started messing it up. So, let's see. Lord Toss says, love Philly. Das Wolfen says, I know the Eagles are going to win, but I am pulling for the Titans to upset. Look, if anybody's going to upset them, it will be the Tennessee Titans because Mike Vrabel, whether you guys like him or not as a player or when he played, he learned well from the master. He's a damn good coach. The only question mark with the Titans to me is their quarterback position because I don't think he's got two brain cells to rub together. He's talented. He's got a big arm, but God almighty, I worry about that guy. They need a Forrest Gump. They've got one.
They got King Henry.
They got the king.
It's interesting as far as mentioning Forrest Gump. I read the sequel to Forrest Gump back when I was in high school.
Really?
It was called Gump and Company.
Really?
They had talked about making it into a movie, but they never did.
Mm-hmm.
Gump, he does various things like he interrupts a soccer match, I think between like East Germany and West Germany. They try to chase him off the field. He climbs over the Berlin Wall. Anyway, them pursuing him is how the Berlin Wall got knocked down.
Oh, no.
So there's silly things in there like that. But one of the things is that there's an NFL connection. He plays for the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
In the Forrest Gump sequel. So,
wow.
Just
cool. I didn't even know they made a sequel to it. Let's see. Lord Toss says, I have A.J. Brown on my fantasy pool in a pivotal week. Want Philly to score a lot. Well, if they follow the Commandos blueprint, for beating this team. They may not. So we'll see what happens. I'm going with Philly in this game because I've already made my upset pick of the week. But I could easily see the Titans winning. But they've got to run the ball. They've got to do it the way the Commandos did. They've got to keep that talented offense off the field, no doubt. And Matt, who are you going with? We know Noc is going with Tennessee as his upset pick.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay. But we're pulling for your pick, Noc, for sure. No doubt.
Yeah, I'm a little shy. I'm about to put on the selection committee.
Okay.
Come on,
enjoy.
sometime.
If you get any news before we get off the air, let us know. Okay. Next one, them damn Seahawks against the LA Rams. The Rams are too beat up. I don't give them a chance in this game, guys. I think
And
the Seahawks
Matthew
get
Stafford's
healthy
on
this week.
IR.
Yep. Yeah, they're too beat up. No Cooper Kupp, no Matthew Stafford. Campion's an idiot. Yeah.
I think Geno Smith is playing better this year for the Seahawks than Russell Wilson would if he was there.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. He is. And it's good. It's great to see a guy like that, in the late part of his career, I don't think he's going to a Super Bowl or anything, but it's fun to watch. It was fun to watch Alex Smith take the Washington Redskins to the Washington football team. I think they were at that point, to the playoffs and win the division there on a late stretch when he came back from the devastating ankle.
Have you ever seen his leg?
Yes.
It's horrific. Yeah.
It's nasty. He's going to have a tough time when he's an old man, but it was great to see that. It's great to see these guys that stuck around and hung with their careers, do well late in their career. My favorite guy I've ever seen was a guy that my dad's New England Patriots drafted. He was a Heisman Trophy winner, a guy named Jim Plunkett. Never did anything for New England, didn't play worth a shit, and then he went out to L.A. when the Raiders were there and won 2 Super Bowls with them. And so it's good to see these guys that are actually sticking around because they love the game to actually, produce on the field. It's great.
I enjoyed that guy Peyton Manning. I think you heard of him when he came around Denver.
Yeah, he had a pretty good.
Yeah, but he had a pretty productive career before he went to Denver, man.
But,
that's not what we're talking about.
He was written off. Neck injury. He'll never be back. He'll never be back. And then he became Wolverine in his neck. And
dude, the last Super Bowl he won, he didn't even contribute to that victory, dude. Okay,
no.
Come on, man.
Listen,
he
threw a pass. Okay,
a wobbly pass.
It doesn't matter.
Classic.
It got to the receiver.
A classic.
And we got a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
He gave it all he had.
Let's see. Das Wolfen says, I do have Sanders starting, so I should be pulling for the Eagles. But
Sanders won me last week.
Yeah.
Sanders, he's been up and down this year. With
and Lord Toss says Seattle. Das Wolfen says, I have to go with the Seahawks, even if they only have the second loudest stadium in the NFL.
Whoa.
Hey, man, we swapped that title year to year. We'll have it back soon enough. Don't worry about that, John, okay? We'll get it back from you. Every time they put somebody from Guinness out there to record it, that's when everybody gets loud enough to friggin' break the record. So don't worry about it. We'll get it back. Don't worry about that, man. Let's see. So we're all on board with Seattle? Yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And this one is going to be fun to watch. They need to put this one on at night, dude, unless they've got a really good one on at night.
What is tonight? I don't even know.
Let's see. I think tonight is that the – let's see. Yeah, it's the Colts of Dallas. Yeah, they need to flop those games around.
Man,
they need to move them. They really do. Dude, this is going to be a classic right here. I just got a feeling it's going to be good. I think what we're going to see is another one of those games like the Ravens-Dolphins game early in the season. I think that defense is going to hold them down early. They're going to get a lead, and I think the Dolphins are going to just start winging it in the second half and come back on them. That's what I think is going to happen in this one. Who's going to win? It's going to be the team with the ball last. And in these games, even if it's a stinker or 2 big-time teams, I got to go with the home team. as much as I hate to say it, I got to go with the San Francisco 49ers. If for no other reason, their defense is the best squad.
It's
well,
rock solid.
I mean, I say best squad. I have to give them the nod because they're at home, because it's going to be won on that side of it. When San Francisco's defense is on the field trying to stop that high-octane offense of Miami, that's what's going to dictate who's going to win this game.
Well, here's a couple interesting things. Trent Williams will be playing, so that's really good for their line. Deebo Samuels is questionable, but expected to play.
Noc. I'm going to get.
I know. I saw it too.
I know. Harness a man. Dolphins.
Nice.
I saw it too.
Okay, go ahead.
I think a big loss for the 49ers, though, is Elijah Mitchell. Okay. He's out. He's been the guy that's been running the ball when Christian McCaffrey's out. Yeah. So that means you're going to play Christian McCaffrey more, which we also know what that means. So,
and Deebo can play running back too, but he is a game time
questionable as well. Yeah, no, he's questionable, but expected to play.
So the Niners are beat up. They're susceptible.
They're a little beat up, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do on offense with some of their guys kind of hurt a little bit.
I have Kittle, so I want the Niners to give him some touchdowns. So the Niners. Plus Hill is on the Fins, and he chose money over team. Oh, well, get over it. Well,
I mean,
maybe they should have paid him if you want to keep him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think either
Don't ever hold it against the player.
I don't think either side is lost him going to the Dolphins.
No, I don't think so either.
Kansas City's fine.
I don't know if it's possible. Is it possible Kansas City got better without him? I mean, they are lighting people up.
Yeah, I don't know if you can say they're better for sure, but they're just as efficient.
Yes,
I'm going Niners here.
You going Niners here? Yeah, I'm picking the Niners, but I'm pulling for the Miami Dolphins.
I'm riding the wave. Miami has been undefeated.
Go, man! Hey, I hope you're right.
Come back.
I'm pulling for him. My wife loves them. That's her team.
I'm actually going for the Dolphins. They're an exciting team to watch.
They are.
I am praying. Like my one hope for this season, and if it doesn't happen, then whoever writes the script for the NFL should be fired. That. The Dolphins in the playoffs versus the Chiefs has to happen.
Oh my God!
If it doesn't happen, then this whole thing is a wash to me.
Well,
right.
And you can say the script writers is a fictional thing. So that's I have to see a Miami and Chiefs game.
TBH is it is a
to
be honest. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I have to think about these leak things. Is a coin flip. It really is. When you think about it, it really is, because both of these teams can score.
Yeah, these are great. This is a great game.
Yeah, it's the game of the day, if you ask me. I hope we get it nationally everywhere.
I won't go down this road, but just for 1 second,
Tyreek
Hill. Yeah. If what he did a few years ago was on camera, he wouldn't have played another down in the league. It was a Ray Rice situation.
And, really? The videotape always matters.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So it's video makes a huge difference in those type things. Because remember, nothing happened to Rice until the video came out.
Yeah. Yep. I did not know he was a tank top, if I can say it nicely. I had no idea he was. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. The white tank top, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. Speaking of those Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs against the Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be a good one too.
This is a conference championship rematch right here.
Yes, it is.
Where the Bengals upset the Chiefs.
And do the Chiefs want revenge now or later? This is my question, because they're going to play again. I have a feeling. Cincinnati has started to get back to its ways, and nothing's changed. Joe Burrow is still getting beat up like a rented mule, but he's still friggin' that guy. Joe Burrow's special, man. If he played on a team that could protect him, imagine how many points he'd fucking score in a football game. My God. The guy, he's got a very short memory. Nothing affects him,
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but he's Joe Cool Part 2, man. He just, he takes What did I tell? I told Danny we needed to start calling him Timex. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking. I mean, he just does. I mean, what? 2 weeks ago, he got sacked 9 times and won the game. I mean, it's ridiculous. Lord Toth says this one is tough. I hate KC. So, Bengals. And of course, Das Wolfen. Do you need to ask who I'm picking? No, I don't need to ask, my brother.
Yeah.
To be honest, this is the game I am most worried about. You should be, because that
Especially
guy that's
now.
playing for Cincinnati will get it done if he can.
Here's 2 big things right here. Jamar Chase, who remains listed as questionable, is expected to play and isn't likely to have any snap count limitations in his return.
Ooh, that doesn't bode well for the Kansas City secondary.
I'll counter that with Joe Mixon is.
I was about to do him next. Yeah. But he remains in NFL concussion protocol, is viewed as a long shot to play. So maybe Joe Mixon, but Jamar Chase is playing.
Wow.
Unless something happens in warm-up, he's playing today, and doesn't look like he's going to be limited.
Wow.
So
yeah, this is going to be a fun game.
So,
Kansas City.
I think I got to go to the Chiefs because they're more healthy and they can. And
I think they are too.
Can't say it doesn't seem to matter if they can get after the quarterback, because Joe Cool doesn't care about such peasant things as 300-pound lineman in his face.
No, that doesn't faze him, dude. But the thing is, will he still be standing at the end of the game?
I think the Chiefs can outscore him still. So
yeah. I think that's the case too.
But wouldn't be surprised at an upset. So
the concern here is that it looks like this game and the previous game are both on CBS in the same window. Mm-hmm. So, I'm
not going to get either one of them. I think the Saints are playing today.
Yeah,
and they're in the late window, so I'm going to see that one.
Crummy set of circumstances that led to that. Yes, from a TV standpoint.
The 2 best friggin' games of the day are at the same time on the same network. That sucks. They need to be on Fox and CBS, or they need to flex one of them. Damn it! Right. They need to put that damn Niners Miami game on at night. They really do, because that could be a Super Bowl preview. Think about it, guys. It could be. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, right now it looks like a rematch of that Super Bowl that Kansas City won. I mean, it looks like those guys are on a collision course, unless the Eagles keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, you could have Chiefs and Eagles in the Kelsey Bowl.
Yeah, right. The Kelsey Bowl. Yeah, he's the center for the line on the Eagles team, right?
Just a little tidbit here. Looks like the playoffs are going to be revealed soon here on ESPN, but the rest of the 6 bowl New Year bowls and the rest of the bowl selections will be selected at 2:30.
Okay.
So
that's because they want to keep you tuned in.
Right.
Yeah, they want you there, bro.
I'm going to tune back in at 2:30 after they reveal the top 4, but after that, it seems like they're just doing a bunch of interview bullshit. So 2:30 is when the rest of the bowls, but then right now it looks like they're going to hear any.
Just follow it on your phone. You'll be fine. But picks. I got to go with the Chiefs in this one, man.
I'm still going to go with the Chiefs
until they somebody proves they can beat them again. I mean, they just
besides the Colts.
Yeah, right. And the Bengals defense isn't that, no doubt. I mean, the Colts defense is pretty good. You can say
I'd feel better if the Bengals had Mixon in there, but
P. Ryan's a pretty good replacement.
Yeah, P. Ryan's good, but I look the one thing. And maybe, Matt, you'll understand what I'm saying here. The Chiefs remind me a lot of the Saints before they built a defense. Now that they could score 35, but they'd lose 38-35. And once they got a defense, they won a championship. And ever since they got it's I don't think it's a coincidence. Ever since they got the Honey Badger, their defense has totally changed. And they got a couple of pass rushers now. I think Frank Clark's still with that team. I hate the fact that he's not a Seahawk. He's still with the fucking Chiefs. Oh,
Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame coach.
Yes, he is. And the great thing about Andy Reid and Denver coach, are you paying attention? He coaches to the talents of the people he has. Yep. And so, yeah, you never can count his.
You lose Tyreek Hill, you trade and get Kadarius Toney.
Right. Yeah. You plug and play, and next
well,
man
not to
up.
mention getting Valdez-Scantling and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I
think the biggest thing about it is he's not trying to force the ball to Hill anymore. He's throwing it to the open guy, which makes them more explosive, if you ask me. So, you know,
I guess what I'm saying is trading for Toney, that explosiveness that Hill had, or it's the closest you can get to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to go with the Chiefs in this one. Yeah. Anybody taking a flyer on the Bengals? No? Okay. But it could happen. This is just speculation, boys and girls. Let's see. The Los Angeles Chargers at the Las Vegas Raiders. I got to go with the Chargers. Got to go with the Chargers in this one. Las Vegas is a that team is just they're dysfunctional.
It's a divisional game, so who knows? TCU has just been put in as number 3. That's official.
Yay!
I'm gonna go Chargers, but it's a division game, so who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah. I just can't. Josh McDaniels. If anybody needs to be one and done, it's Josh McDaniels, man. Let's see. Lord Toth, coaching wins ball games. Yes, of course it does. And Andy Reid's one of the best. Okay. Let's see.
He's the reason I can't hate the Chiefs.
He says Raiders are sentimental for sentimental reasons. He must be an old Oakland fan. Okay.
By the way, I like the Lord Thoth Christmas icon there.
Yeah, let's see what he's got here. I can't tell what it is. I don't. Hang on, let me blow it up so I can see.
Well, he's got his normal.
Yeah, but he's got his.
There, but
I got it. He's got the Santa hat on. Yep. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Dos Wolfen says I'm going with the Bolts. I hate the Raiders. Yeah, don't we all? Ugh. Last week, I could not believe we lost in overtime to that fucking team on an 80-yard touchdown run. What the fuck is with the Raiders and ripping off huge runs against us, man? Okay.
They love their overtime wins.
Huh?
They love their overtime wins.
Nah, it's not what I'm talking about. You know, the whole fucking Bo Jackson thing. And
well, Joe, just remember the autumn wind is a Raider.
It's a Raider.
John Facenda, the voice of God.
Great voice. Yes. Yeah. We miss him for sure. Lord Toth says Jingle Bells. Okay. We got the Indianapolis Colts against the Dallas Cowboys. Does anybody give the Indianapolis Colts a chance in this game?
No.
I'm not going to.
It's going to be more like Jeff Tuesday here. I mean,
yeah.
Not even Jeff Saturday. I mean, no. he's that far behind. Yeah.
Breaking news: Ohio State is number 4.
Okay. Yes, Alabama didn't make it. There's justice
in Ohio. It is official. It'll be Georgia and Ohio State and Michigan and TCU playing each other.
In other words, they're trying to avoid Ohio State Michigan rematching in the first round.
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of glad of that. I want to see. I think Ohio needs to prove that they deserve to be in the playoffs, and what better way than playing Georgia?
What an epic matchup it would be if you had Michigan versus Ohio State in the national championship game.
Right.
That would be epic.
So, and that would mean Ohio has definitely earned it, and of course Michigan, being TCU. So, I think that would be pretty crazy.
Georgia, we'll take it all again.
Yeah, Georgia's probably gonna win all this, but still, it's still fun to speculate
with their 25-year-old quarterback. Yeah.
Let's see.
That's
all right. Thanks for stopping by, John. It's good to see you, man.
All righty, Dust Wolf.
Let's see. Lord Toth says Dallas by a football field, no doubt. And he says, "Yeah, me too. Late lunch. All right. Take care, guys. It was good to see you." Yeah. I'm Cowboys all day long.
Yeah,
Dak Prescott looked great last week. That was the best game I've seen him play all year.
Yeah, so. I'm pulling for Jeff Saturday just for the fun of it, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't say I was rooting for the Cowboys. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think the Colts have a chance to win this thing at all.
Alabama number 5, Tennessee number 6. Okay, so that's your top 6. So that's all they're going to show for now.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Well, what do we care about the rest of it's just the top 4 we care about.
Yeah. I think they just showed it because there was some intrigue about the top 6, so they just played it out. But all right, so 2:30, I'm going to tune back into that and watch.
All right,
okay,
cool.
Anyways,
this is the one tonight. Oh, I might see the Miami
San
San Francisco game.
No. This is Monday night, buddy.
Oh, is that Monday night? Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
so Indianapolis.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, cool.
all right.
That's the one we wanted.
But my point is, I might see one of those great football games this afternoon. Hopefully, wait a minute. It probably will be the Miami Niners game.
Check your local listing.
Yes, I will check it.
I don't know which one.
No, wait a minute. What am I talking about? It's LSU country. I'm going to see the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Because
at least you'll get to see one of the two.
Yeah. I trust me, I'm going to see the Chiefs game. My wife's going to be so pissed too. Okay, so we Monday night we've got the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nobody is out of it in this division, guys. Yeah. Nobody's out of it. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I'm gonna have the Kansas City and Bengals game in the afternoon. In the evening.
Are you? Okay. I'll have to. You know what? I'm gonna check mine just to see. But the Saints. I mean. Yeah, exactly.
The Buccaneers.
Exactly. What the hell is going on, right?
Who day? Yeah.
Who day? Who day? Who day going to try and win this game?
Where are they?
Where are they? That's it.
Bucks.
I'm gonna go Bucks.
You going Bucks? Yeah. Well, it's prime time.
It's not prime time. It's not.
It's Monday night football.
This is just time.
It's just time being eaten up by 2 bad football teams.
Prime time's in Colorado now.
Yeah, prime time is in Colorado. Good one. I'd love to see the Saints win this game, but I gotta go with the home team in this one.
It's just who's gonna win the South?
Man. Tampa's gonna win it. You know they are.
Most likely, yes, but still, they're not showing it. They're not showing me that they want it.
Well, heck, I'll tell you what we can do. First of all, we're going to look at Thursday night's game. But
by the way, Carolina and Arizona are on buys this week. Those are the 2 teams on buy.
Yeah. Let's get into the standings. Me and my brother looked at it this week. And
I've noticed that Joe does not use Communist News Network website.
I do not, for any reason whatsoever. Dude, when they started going to... Okay, let me explain myself to you guys real quick before we do this. The reason why I don't watch the Communist News Network, if you haven't watched it lately, they're more interested in laying out point spreads.
Yeah.
And I've got a very personal thing about gambling, so they can kiss my ass.
Well, they used to steer clear of that entirely.
They used to, but they don't anymore. And now that they're owned by Disney, all of a sudden they're worried about gambling spreads.
Well, and they get sponsorship from DraftKings, and
that's why they're doing it. And they're selling out,
know,
and you know
fan
what?
club, FanDuel, and I can't. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely someone that if I started doing even just a little bit, I would be susceptible. I think I would be successful. I'm self-aware enough to know that I would be successful.
My dad told me a long time ago, don't ever bet on boxing or football. He said, boxing's rigged, and football, you never know which way that ball's going to bounce. It's too weird a shape. You don't know what's going to happen. Trust me.
And it's crazy because FanDuel does that thing. We're like, we'll give you $60 free.
Oh, yeah.
It's just to get you hooked.
Well, it's the equivalent of at these college campuses where you have the credit card companies saying, we'll give you a free pizza if you'll sign up for our credit card. Yeah.
Yeah. It's silly.
Not worth it. Yeah.
But all these teams are within a game of each other. We got the Falcons and the Bucks at 5 wins, and we've got the Panthers and the Saints with 4. Huh?
Show it. Put it back up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Guys, you got to see this. It's amazing.
Right? You got to see this. And I'm the only one that can see it. It's all game. I mean, it's really close in this division. And I mean, you look at the Saints, look, they put up just as many points damn near as the Falcons do. But they give up way too many. You know, I don't know what's happening. I don't know, Matt. Is it a case of a good defense melting under the pressure of a bad offense? I don't think so.
I just think it's mathematically, someone must win this division.
Yeah.
The law requires it.
The law requires that they have a representative as a champion. And, I don't know, man.
Looks like the Falcons haven't had their bye week yet.
No.
No.
I think that might be next week.
Might be. Let's take a look at the schedule down the stretch here. Where's the schedule? All right. It's too bad they can't break it down by division.
Yeah,
but,
Falcons will play this week and then against Pittsburgh, and then they'll be on a bye week.
Mm-hmm. And then, we got a head-to-head matchup with this one, so that's going to count a lot. And then, let's see, where is it? Next week, we're looking specifically at that division.
Buys next week. Yep.
Yeah, the Falcons should be on a bye.
And I think maybe the Saints, they're 4-8, so they may be on a bye next week.
Tampa's got San Francisco next week. Holy shit. That's not good for them. Let's see. Who else we got here? Nobody else in the division? Everybody else in that division off? Where's the Panthers at?
Yeah,
I think
they got the Seahawks. They're going to Seattle. Panthers are.
Yep.
So
wow, the Panthers.
That's not good for them either.
Yeah. Panthers will be playing 14 weeks in a row.
Oof.
Yeah, Panthers are on off week this week.
Yeah.
Oh, they are? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this week 15? They have it. And then next week it's the Saints and the Falcons are on a bye.
Okay. So, and then, they should get healthy on that one. Steelers. And we're just looking forward to see who might have a chance of taking that division. You got the Steelers at the Panthers, which they should win. You got the Bengals at Tampa Bay. Oh, they're in trouble in that game. Oh,
yeah.
That could be back-to-back losses for them.
Right. Depending on what happens with the Saints game, could be 3.
Right. Falcons at Saints, heads up. That's a big one.
Yep.
Who won the first matchup? I think the Saints won it. Not sure.
I don't remember.
No, the Saints did win. Yeah, 27-20. That was week 1. Yeah. 27-26.
So the Falcons need this more than a lot more than the Saints do.
And then the next week the week after that they have Baltimore. The Falcons do.
Who does? Falcons? Oh,
yeah.
That's not good for them. These teams have a rough schedule down the stretch, man. Yeah, Falcons, Ravens, Lions at Panthers. That could not be easy for them. That offense is something else for Detroit.
I think Carolina probably has the easiest schedule going all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no offense to
my God, Tampa's got to go to Arizona in a primetime game.
Yeah.
Where are the Saints at?
But I'm not a Baker Mayfield believer.
Yeah.
No, it's Sam Darnold right now.
It's Sam Darnold.
Oh, they have? Okay.
Yeah, they switched. He's
I can't
been benched
keep track
for a couple
of the
of weeks.
Quarterback situation.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't they had like 3 quarterbacks?
PJ Walker was hurt, and so
they benched him a few weeks ago. Walker's been playing for him, and
he did okay.
Yeah, he got hurt.
But he got hurt.
Yeah. Saints playing Deshaun Watson's Browns down the stretch. That could be. I take that back. That's a rough game for the Saints because this time of year, going up in the cold, that's hard for the Saints. They always struggle. I remember Drew Brees' game against Chicago. That was bad. In the playoffs. Let's see. Okay, so the last week of the season, after getting all these teams getting beat up, I'm sure they've got division matchups down the stretch. Oh God, the Saints got the Eagles last game of the season.
Well, now remember, that might.
Help. No, that's week 17.
Yeah,
this is week 17, so it's not the last game of the season.
So Eagles.
But yeah, that's not good for them.
No.
Then you got the Panthers against the Bucks. The Bucks have a tough fucking schedule, man. Shit.
Yeah, based on what I saw, it looked like the Panthers probably have the easiest one, but even still.
And then who are the Falcons playing this week? Surely they're not. Okay, they're playing the Cardinals. Okay, they should win that.
The biggest question of that one is, will it be a double XP weekend on COD?
Right, on Call of Duty for the shrimp. Yeah, that goon. I'm a Boomer Sooner fan, but I've never liked
that game,
that
though.
guy.
Is that Thursday night game? Can you go back to that real quick? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
I think it's the last Thursday night game of the season.
Yeah,
is that
typically
Tennessee Cowboys? Oh, wow.
Yep, that's going to be good.
December 29th?
It's going to be good, man. Because both of those guys are going to be playing for seeding.
Yeah,
both of
Cowboys are going to be trying to keep up with the Eagles, and the Titans are going to try to keep up with, everyone else in the AFC.
Yes, that's going to be a big game on Prime Video. Yeah,
that's a good way to end the season on Thursday night.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, now let's see. Week 18, last game of the season. Whoa!
Yeah, Bucks and Falconeers.
Wow. Wow. That game is going to loom large, and it's probably the Saints and the Panthers. Yep. The Panthers going into the Thunderdome, man. Wow.
These are all divisional games.
Yep. Well, they need to do that. I really think I really think they should make divisional matchups required last game of the season.
No, they did it for this one, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
anytime you got 32 teams, you ought to be able to make that work, Yeah,
absolutely.
You got even numbers everywhere. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so after seeing all that, I guess it's not out of the question to have the Panthers win that frickin' division. I mean,
depends on their quarterback.
Because they do have the easiest road, man. They do have the easiest
everyone's
road.
alive.
Hubbard,
Tampa's got a tough schedule, man. Jesus Christ, they got a tough schedule.
And by the way, I know that I'm not a believer in Baker Mayfield. I'm not any more of a believer in Darnold or PJ Walker.
No, of course.
You know what? I root for PJ Walker because he came from the XFL. The undefeated XFL 5-0 DC Defenders before COVID destroyed that league. And so I've always had
the Rock by it, and they're bringing it back soon.
I think they're bringing it back this spring.
It's the Rock. Yeah, it's April of next year. USFL season 2 is back as well.
Yep.
Starts right after football. So we're gonna have actually 2 springtime leagues this next year. So that's gonna be awesome.
Well, you get to work on
They've already,
a show for your channel, buddy, because I'm not doing it.
They already have.
I do the big boys. That's what I do.
There was only a few players that I really recognized, like AJ McCarron is going to be in the XFL. There's some random players like that.
I know the guy that won it for your team in the USFL last year. He went to LA Tech. I know all about that guy. Yeah, I was actually happy to see him win. That was cool. Even though they beat New Orleans. Yeah,
with Kyle Sloter. I think Sloter's going to be in the XFL as well too.
Yep. But I'm just saying, the best thing that happened to that team was their starting quarterback getting hurt, because the guy that came off the bench for LA Tech was really good. So
I'm really pulling for these leagues to succeed, and it is a nice, because the NFL has never had a developmental league that's actually been successful.
No, the closest they had was that European league. They had the World Football League. And,
so
it did okay, but nothing great.
Yeah, so I'm really pulling for these ones to work. I think the XFL is a little inflated right now. They just keep talking about they're talking it up way too much. It's one of those things where it's like a game that you keep seeing way too many reviews for, and before it's even out.
All I know is,
so I don't know how it's actually going to do, but
the original XFL, the fact that they brought the Skycam in from that is very cool. But I really want them to have the scrum for the football instead of a kickoff. I thought that was cool as shit. Line them up 10 yards away from the ball and have them fight for it. That was
I would
awesome.
say that the biggest rule that, and there's a lot of people that won't want it, but I think the biggest rule I would love to see carry over from the USFL is the instead of doing a kickoff, doing the 4th and 12 on your own 32. I think it's 32 or 33 or something like that. So that if you're behind and you score, you have a chance to get the ball back. I think it would be awesome to have, instead of going for an onside kick that has a super low chance of getting it, you have Josh Allen, going for it on 4th and 12. Mahomes, whatever the case may be, if they're behind in the game, and you don't give the ball back to the other team on your own 30, from an onside kick. I think that I think you have a better chance at 4th and 12 than you do on an onside kick.
Right.
And I think that option should be available. So that's probably the biggest. And they've discussed it. And they unfortunately the U.S. I don't think, if I can remember correctly, I don't
think anybody took advantage of that rule.
Yeah, I don't think hardly anyone, and no one really is going to until people start doing it. Mm-hmm. But in this day and age with these analytics, someone's going to go for it. God,
the guy that coaches the San Diego Chargers would do it in 2 seconds.
They're going to do
that retard right there. Yeah,
my God,
he outsmarts himself.
He does. He's he has got. They talk about Trevor Lawrence being the generational talent. I think he's got it over there in friggin' San Diego. That guy is a great. Okay, and wow, is he fucking up a good thing?
But I'm curious. I wonder if other people would use it. Like, look at Bill Belichick. I would wonder if he would throw his offense on the field just to get the other team to use a timeout or something like that. Just to mess with the other coaches.
He'd fuck with people like that.
Yeah, so I think it'd be funny to see stuff like that happen where you're just like, oh my God, he's throwing his offense. We're not ready.
This is next Thursday's matchup.
We're
gonna have that before we get back with the folks. Vegas at the Walking Wounded versus the Inept. It's
gonna be Las Vegas all the way because I'm sure Aaron Donald's probably not gonna come back.
You know what? I'm going to say now
Wolford.
that the Rams are going to beat that friggin' dysfunctional team with whatever backups they field.
Wolford isn't going to beat them.
Because McVay will coach him up and have him ready to play.
I'll go Rams as well.
I'm telling you. Nobody believes it.
Crazy. This is crazy talk.
Wait a minute.
What are we doing here?
Crazy talk, huh? How did he do as your head coach?
It don't matter.
How did Josh McDaniel do as your head coach?
You're putting way too much stock in McVay's ability to coach backups.
By the way, McVay took a shot on the sidelines.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah,
he did. He took a helmet to the chin, man. He was feeling that shit. Yep. Woo! That hurt.
This is one of those games that they were like, when they made the schedule, you got 2 Super Bowl potential.
Yeah, they were expecting big things.
And then the season happened, and it just.
Yeah.
Oh, you should.
I was not.
Do you ever watch Rich Eisen? Do you ever watch his podcast or watch his YouTube videos? He is always having to defend himself because he picked the Raiders to win your division this year. And he's always having to defend that decision that he made before the season started. He's like, I was an idiot. I know. Shut up. But anyway. Okay. Anything else? Thoughts on the championship games? Well, go ahead and tell them again who the top 6 in the college rankings are so we can go over that real fast before we get out.
Yeah. There was no hesitation at 1 and 2 at Georgia and Michigan. It was just an intrigue with 3, 4, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
But it has been decided, and TCU is number 3, so they're going to face Michigan. And then I believe that's the Fiesta Bowl. Mm-hmm. And then you got Georgia facing number 4, Ohio State. With USC losing.
Do you think they got 3 and 4 right? Do you think Ohio State should have been above them?
I don't think Ohio. I know a lot of people were hoping for a Michigan-Ohio rematch. I wasn't. I want to see. I think it's correct that Ohio State has to prove that they should be there by going up against the best team.
Because for number one, they got beat by a whole lot more than TCU did, and they didn't play in a championship game.
Right, exactly. I think that's the biggest thing is that. So I definitely think TCU for their whole season, not just one game where they lost in overtime, deserves to be taken out entirely, even being number 4.
Yeah,
over Ohio, who didn't even play, another game kind of deal. So, and they got beat up by Michigan. They didn't just lose; they got beat up.
They got beat down by Michigan. I think there would have been their own house. Yeah,
a pretty interesting debate. Let's say Tennessee beat South Carolina a couple weeks back. You would have had an 11-1 Tennessee team that lost to Georgia versus an Ohio State 11-1 team that lost to Michigan.
And didn't play in a championship game. Yeah.
But neither one of them
would have been. It would have been Tennessee versus Ohio.
Yep.
So that would have been a very good debate. Yeah. Tennessee may have gotten in because Tennessee lost on the road to Georgia.
Tennessee, in that case, I would pick Tennessee just because they're in the tougher conference.
Now, here's the thing, though. Here's why at this point, this is why Tennessee wouldn't have been picked, because Hooker is out for the season.
Yeah.
So they would have went with Ohio anyway. If Hooker had been hurt, that's another conversation.
And that's one of the reasons. One of the things I don't like about college football is they do it for made-for-TV purposes. In other words, in the NFL,
one of them going to be the better match.
In the NFL, it's whatever your record is, whatever whatever your tiebreakers are. Whereas in college, it's all about
what's going to make us the most money. What's going to put the most eyes on the TV sets?
But I think at least as far as this year goes, they've had clear cut, at least for the Final Four. Yeah. And that is if USC had won and TCU had won, they were in. Yeah. If both had lost, there was a little bit of intrigue, but I don't think anyone really saw Alabama except for maybe the choice factor, Alabama making it in. Even if the top two teams had lost, I think all four. Or the top three, I think, were locks pretty much, and it was just that fourth spot that was a little iffy with USC, but USC lost, so that made it for Ohio. So I don't think there was as much needed to go through on this one as years past. And then I think with the new format coming up now, it's like people are going to be angry at number 13 and 14.
Yes,
at that point, who cares?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, but at least I don't think it's. But you're not going to also expect 13 and 14 to win.
Correct.
So even if they didn't make it, so it's like you're probably not going to expect the top between 8 and 14 to win either. So 12. So
well, all right, boys and girls, we've had our discussion for today. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for getting involved. Let everybody know the three of us will be doing this again next week, and we'll continue the speculation about who's going to win in the college football playoff and all that good stuff. Awesome. Let me let you know what's going on the channel. First of all, I'm going to be on, like I said earlier, on Pop Culture Minefield at, 4 p.m. Central. That's 2 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to be on over there talking wrestling if you're into that. Monday night, it's Pop Joe Gamer After Dark. I'm going to be playing on Twitch for 3 hours. And that's that one's at 10 o'clock p.m. Central. And then we had a great discussion last week. If you guys didn't watch the review of Andor we did, these two guys were involved in it, plus Das Wolf and Martin Acosta Santana from Pop Culture Minefield. We had a ball talking Andor. If you guys haven't seen the series, go watch it and then go watch our review. You'll get a kick out of it. That was a lot of fun. This week, we've just got me with a few subjects talking to the chat, and whichever of my friends decide to show up, and that's at 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. And this week's Brothers Hack the Matrix is a year-ending show because my brother is going on a cruise and will not be back on for the show till after the new year. So he's going to be gone for 3 weeks straight. So we're going to do our year-ending show next week. And be sure to tune in for that at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, Brothers Hack the Matrix. And we're going to do a year-ending show on Sketching the Privateer because I just got done plotting the cover, and we're going to do a season-ending show of that one as well. I'll be doing State of the Atmosphere through the end of the year, but Brothers Hack the Matrix and Sketching the Privateer are going to go on hiatus till the end of the year. And this one is on Saturday at 1:30. And we're going to go over the whole first issue, showing you the plot, let you know what the story is and everything. And Justifier Jim and I will be back after the beginning of the year.
And Jimmy, of course, with the beard.
Yeah. Yeah, the beard. And of course, you got us coming back next week at 10 o'clock Central for the NFL pregame party. So for my co-hosts, Noc and Small Time Republic, we want to thank you for watching, and we will until we see you again. I want you to keep on keeping on. God bless.